Funeral service for Mr. L.P. Hickman will be Friday at 2 o'clock from First United Methodist Church in Sylacauga with Reverend Byron White officiating. Burial in the Green Hill Memorial Garden, Evergreen Memorial Cemetery in Sylacauga. Visitation will be at the church beginning at 1 p.m. on Friday. In lieu of flowers, memorial contributions can be made at the First United Methodist Church of Sylacauga, 105 East Walnut Street. Online memorials at CurtisandSonFH.com, Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, directing. Funeral service for Eva Virginia Good Game Finn will be Saturday at 11:30 at First United Methodist Church in Childersburg. The family will receive friends 10:30 until 11:30 at the church, with burial after the service at Andrews Chapel Cemetery in Hanover. The Reverend Jamie Pangman, the Childersburg First United Methodist Church, will officiate the service. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at RadleySmith.com, Radley Smith Funeral Home, directing. Funeral service for Olin Stewart Horton, age 83, of Fayetteville, will be today at 2 o'clock from Radley Smith Funeral Home Chapel, with Brother Billy Paul Williams and Reverend A.L. Courtney officiating. Burial in the Harpersville Cemetery. Visitation prior to the service today, 1 until 2 o'clock. In lieu of flowers, the family has requested donation be made to the DCH Foundation Help and Hope Fund, 950 Dr. Edward Hilliard Drive, Tuscaloosa, 35401. Memorial messages may be directed to the family at RadleySmith.com, Radley Smith Funeral Home, directing. Funeral service for Charles Early Davis, age 85, of Sylacauga, is also today at Radley Smith Funeral Home Chapel. Service begins at 11:30 with Dr. Larry Morrison officiating. Interment in the Evergreen Cemetery. Visitation from 10 until 11:30 at the funeral home this morning. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at RadleySmith.com, Radley Smith Funeral Home, directing. Graveside service for Mrs. Patricia Dolores Schultz, age 63, is today at 1 o'clock from Oak Hill Cemetery in Talladega. Brother Cliff Goodwin will officiate. Talladega Funeral Home, directing. Thelma Juanita Patterson Lackey, age 91, died Monday. Funeral service for Mrs. Lackey is today at 11 o'clock from Ursery Funeral Home in Talladega. Ron Hurst will officiate the service. Burial in the Pine Hill Memorial Park. Visitation was held last night. Online condolences at urseryfuneralhome.com. Mrs. Lackey was a member of the Talladega Church of Christ. Ursery Funeral Home, Talladega, directing. Funeral service for James Earl Jimmy Jones, age 82, of Highlands, is Friday at 1 o'clock from the chapel of Radley Smith Funeral Home, with Brother Darren Holland officiating. Burial in the Evergreen Cemetery. Mr. Jones died Wednesday, April 24th at Coosa Valley Medical Center. He was a member of the Church of Christ and retired from Avondale Trucking after some 38 years of service. The station is Friday, 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. at the funeral home. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at RadleySmith.com, Radley Smith Funeral Home, directing. And Mr. Jerry Hightower, age 80, died Wednesday. Radley Smith Funeral Home announcing the arrangements. Paige Williams Cumbest, age 51, died Tuesday. Graveside service will be Friday at 4 o'clock from Hillcrest Cemetery. Reverend Jack Washington will officiate. The family receiving friends Friday at Ursery Funeral Home from 2:30 to 3:30. Online condolences at urseryfuneralhome.com, Ursery Funeral Home, Talladega, directing that service. Mrs. Lucille G. Lawson, age 85, died Tuesday at Citizens BMC. Sims Funeral Service will announce the arrangements. Aviva Scott, age 36, died April 20th. Terry's Metropolitan Mortuary announcing. Visitation for Belva Lee Smith, age 68, will be Saturday at Midway Memory Gardens Funeral Home Chapel. The family will receive friends 6 till 8 o'clock. Mrs. Smith died Tuesday, April the 23rd at Lineville Health and Rehab. She was a native of Talladega but a resident of Ashland. Midway Memory Gardens Funeral Home, directing. Funeral service for Mr. Richard Staten, age 83, is Friday at Power of Pentecost Church in Sylacauga, with the Reverend George Adams officiating. That service starts at 2. Burial in the Evergreen Memorial Cemetery. Visitation today, 1 until 8 at the funeral home. Mr. Staten died April 15th at Coosa Valley Medical Center. Online condolences at communityfuneralhome.org. Community Funeral Home, Sylacauga directing. Celebration of life for Eva Pearl Hodnett, age 91, will be Thursday, today from 6 until 8 o'clock. Then services will be on Friday at 10 a.m., all in the chapel of Ursery Funeral Home in Talladega. Interment in the Clay County Memory Gardens at 1 o'clock on Friday. The family request donation be made to the Winterboro Baptist Church in lieu of flowers. Online condolences can be offered at urseryfuneralhome.com. Mrs. Hodnett, a native of Talladega, she and her husband would have celebrated their 72nd anniversary today. Talladega Ursery Funeral Home in charge of those arrangements. That's a look at obituaries this morning, brought to you by Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. 256-245-4361 for pre-need funerals, burials, or cremation since 1975. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg.